You guys, the day has finally come. After years of being pushed aside, talked down to, and treated like they didn't matter, Janelle and Meri Brown just flipped the entire sister wives' power structure upside down. I mean, they actually did it. They got Cody and Robyn to give up control of Coyote Pass, the land that was supposed to represent unity, but turned into a symbol of betrayal. And let me tell you, this wasn't some friendly handshake agreement. This was a legal victory, one they had to fight tooth and nail for. It's emotional, it's powerful, and honestly, it's long overdue. For years, this land sat at the center of the family's most silent and ugliest battle, fought in 2018, with a dream of building their forever homes. Coyote Pass was supposed to keep the Brown family rooted in something solid, but what started as a hopeful plan quickly turned into a slow, painful unraveling. The family splintered, the marriages collapsed, and yet, Cody and Robyn held on to that land like it was their birthright. They dragged their feet, refused to divide it, and shut down any real talk about fairness. While everyone else walked away, they clung tighter, as if holding the land meant holding on to power. But guess what? That grip just got broken. Hey friends, I'm Sarah, and welcome back to TLC Sister Wives Recap, your space for real talk, deep truth, and unfiltered commentary on the wild roller coaster that is this show. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments. Were you just as shocked as I was when this news hit? Because honestly, it felt like a mic drop moment. This whole thing is layered. It's not just about property lines or signatures. It's about justice, respect, and women refusing to stay quiet while everything they built gets handed off to someone else. And if you've been following this story since the beginning, you already know this battle didn't start overnight. So let's talk about how we got here, and how Meri and Janelle finally got what was rightfully theirs. Back in 2018, everything looked different. The Brown family had just uprooted their lives from Las Vegas and landed in Flagstaff, Arizona with big dreams and even bigger promises. Cody, in his usual over-the-top optimism, pitched a vision that felt almost magical, a massive cul-de-sac where all four wives would live side by side, their kids growing up together, sharing land, love, and legacy. He wanted to recreate that close-knit vibe they had in Vegas, only this time, with custom-built homes spread across the stunning acreage of Coyote Pass. For a brief moment, it felt like they had a fresh start, a new chapter, a united future. But the cracks, they were already forming. From the very beginning, there were problems with the land. Hidden covenants and zoning restrictions made it nearly impossible to build full-time residential homes on certain parts of the property. The Browns had taken out a loan to secure it, which meant they couldn't start building until the entire thing was paid off. And the payments, they dragged on for years. During that time, nothing got built, no shovels hit the dirt, and that cul-de-sac dream started to look more and more like smoke and mirrors. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, emotions were unraveling just as fast as the finances. Christine's relationship with Cody was already deteriorating. Janelle was carrying the emotional and financial weight of the family on her back. Meri was emotionally isolated, always the outsider. And Robyn, well, Robyn was getting deeper and deeper into what looked like an exclusive inner circle with Cody, making major decisions while the others were left in the dark. And while they all technically owned Coyote Pass together, nothing was legally divided. It was this messy, tangled web of ownership that Cody always said would get sorted eventually, but eventually never came. The dream that was supposed to bring them together slowly started to symbolize everything that was pulling them apart. By the time the land was finally paid off, the family wasn't even a family anymore. Christine had left. Janelle was emotionally done. Meri had been pushed to the edge, and yet, Cody still acted like the king of that land, like it was his and Robyn's to keep, to control, to lord over everyone else. And that's when things really started to shift. So while this dream of building on Coyote Pass sat in limbo, the family itself was falling apart, piece by piece, right in front of us. And not quietly either. This wasn't some slow fade into the background. It was loud, messy, and heartbreaking. Before they could even finish paying off the land, the wives started leaving, each one pushed to their breaking point by years of neglect, emotional abandonment, and Cody's selective loyalty. Christine was the first to walk away. After years of being dismissed, feeling unseen, and constantly coming in last place to Robyn, she finally said, "Enough." watching her pack up her things and leave behind decades of history. That wasn't just a relationship ending. That was the first major crack in Cody's kingdom. But instead of trying to make things right, Cody doubled down. He turned colder, harsher, and that shift, it didn't go unnoticed by Janelle and Meri. Next came Janelle, who for years had been Cody's most loyal partner when it came to finances and planning. She'd poured her own money into that shared family account, hoping, maybe even believing, that it would all be worth it in the end. But when she started to question Cody's decisions, especially around the land, it became clear she wasn't a partner anymore. She was a threat to his control. And once that line was crossed, there was no going back. And finally, there was Meri, the longest suffering, most emotionally sidelined of them all. Meri had been hanging on by threads, and Cody had been very vocal that there was no relationship left between them. She stayed, waiting for a sign that things might change. That sign never came. She left too. So now Cody was down to just one wife, Robyn, and instead of making things right, instead of offering fair division of the land or talking openly about ownership, Cody and Robyn tightened their grip. They refused to divide the land, refused to sell, refused to let go, even though Janelle and Meri had helped pay for it. Even though they had every right to it, Cody just kept stalling. And that's the moment Janelle and Meri realized something devastating. He was never going to do the right thing on his own. The promises he made about fairness and family didn't mean anything once they were no longer his wives, without legal ties, without marriages. Cody didn't feel obligated, not emotionally, not financially, not morally. That's when it hit. This wasn't just betrayal. This was a power move. And if Janelle and Meri wanted justice, they'd have to take it themselves. All right, here's where things really take a turn, where the quiet tension explodes into full-blown legal warfare. After years of dodging, delaying, and outright refusing to play fair, Janelle and Meri finally brought in the lawyers. And once they did, everything that Cody and Robyn had been trying to sweep under the rug suddenly came into the light. Janelle and Meri weren't just angry, they were prepared. They gathered financial records, bank statements, and receipts. What those documents showed was crystal clear. Every single person involved, including Janelle, Meri, Cody, and Robyn, had contributed money into a shared family account. This account was where all the funds went for the purchase of Coyote Pass. This wasn't some casual arrangement or gift. It was a joint investment. And yet, despite that, Cody and Robyn had been acting like the land was theirs alone. Here's the catch: legally, because Janelle and Meri weren't married to Cody anymore, the law didn't necessarily require him and Robyn to split the property. They weren't technically family anymore. There was no automatic legal obligation to share, but there was something bigger at stake: the moral obligation, the fairness, the principle of honoring the commitment they all made when buying that land together. And that's where Janelle and Meri's determination shined through. They knew the law might be a tough mountain to climb, but the truth was on their side. And with lawyers pushing hard, county records show the breakthrough that no one thought would come without a fight. Cody eventually removed himself entirely from one parcel of land, a big move symbolizing that the long-standing power balance was shifting. The records show that this parcel, known as Lot F, was transferred with Cody's name taken off, leaving Janelle and Meri as joint owners. This was huge. It wasn't just symbolic. It was a clear legal acknowledgement that these women had ownership rights. And it didn't stop there. The final agreements confirmed that all four, Cody, Robyn, Janelle, and Meri, were granted equal 25% shares of the property. For the first time, the ownership was evenly divided, reflecting what should have happened from the very beginning. But here's the kicker: none of this happened voluntarily. This was a forced agreement, brought about by lawyers, paperwork, and legal pressure. Cody and Robyn held out as long as they could, but in the end, the law and Janelle and Meri's resolve won. This wasn't just about property. It was a shift in power, a recognition that Janelle and Meri wouldn't be sidelined any longer, that their voices, their rights, and their investments mattered. And it sent a clear message: the old way of doing things, where Cody and Robyn called all the shots, was officially over. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the actual transactions that made this whole legal victory real. Because it wasn't just a quick signature or a handshake. No, this took months of paperwork, delays, and resistance before everything was officially finalized. First up, there's Lot F, a smaller parcel of about 2.4 acres. This is the one where Cody made the big move. He removed his name completely. That meant Janelle and Meri were now joint owners with 50% undivided interest each. This wasn't just symbolic, it was a direct transfer, recorded officially in county records, and that document was signed back in early 2025. But interestingly, the whole deal had actually been agreed on months earlier, in September 2024. Then, there's Lot J, which is a much larger piece of land over 5 acres. This one was originally owned by Cody and Robyn as community property, but after negotiations, Janelle and Meri were added as co-owners with 25% shares each, while Cody and Robyn retained their 50%. This shows that ownership was truly being split 4 ways, and not just between Cody and Robyn. But here's the catch: the actual paperwork was slow to be recorded, with months between signing and official filing. Finally, there's Lot H, another sizable parcel that was already co-owned by Cody, Janelle, and Meri, but now Robyn was added to the title. This was a huge shift because it officially made Robyn part of the shared ownership, equalizing the stakes across all 4 adults. But again, the paperwork dragged. Some signatures weren't completed until early 2025, months after the agreement. Why all this delay? The obvious answer is resistance. Cody and Robyn were not eager to give up control, and they slowed everything down, dragging their feet, holding on to the land as if time was on their side. It was a battle of wills, as much as it was a legal negotiation. Here's something to think about. This whole drawn-out process happened right around the time Cody and Robyn listed their $2 million home for sale. Could it be that they were forced to sell their mansion to free up cash to finally pay Janelle and Meri what they were owed? The timing sure suggests that it looks like the sale of the home and the property division were connected, part of a larger plan to settle debts and close this painful chapter. This isn't just paperwork, it's a window into the struggle, the fight for fairness, and how long Cody and Robyn resisted letting go. And now, after all that, the land is officially shared equally, but only because Janelle and Meri refused to back down, with the legal battles finally behind them. Janelle and Meri are walking away with their fair share, no strings attached. All those years of waiting, fighting, and feeling sidelined, it's over. They now have clean financial breaks from Cody and Robyn, which means no more control, no more dragging them back into family drama, no more feeling stuck. This isn't just about land, it's about freedom and reclaiming their lives on their own terms, and emotionally. I can't even imagine what that must feel like for them. After everything, the betrayals, the broken promises, the silent power plays, finally getting closure must bring some deep relief. It's like they're saying, we matter. We won't be erased or ignored. That kind of autonomy is powerful, especially after years of being overshadowed. But it's not just Janelle and Meri. Their adult kids are part of this too, and many of them are estranged from Cody. The family ties that once bound them have frayed into something unrecognizable. So while the property division closes a financial chapter, it also highlights just how far apart everyone has drifted emotionally. This victory doesn't just shift the family dynamics, it shakes the very foundation of the sister wives story. With Cody and Robyn losing their grip on the land and money, the power balance is forever changed. And I can't help but wonder what this means for the future of the show itself. Is this the beginning of the end? Or will we see even more unraveling as the Browns rewrite their story without Cody at the center? One thing's for sure, Janelle and Meri standing up and winning this fight sends a message to anyone who's ever been ignored or sidelined. Sometimes, you have to fight harder than you thought possible to claim what's yours. And in the Sister Wives saga, this moment is as real and raw as it gets. While Janelle and Meri were battling in the background to claim what was rightfully theirs, another bombshell dropped. Christine filed for child support against Cody. Unlike Janelle and Meri, who took a more private, lawyer-driven route to settle their disputes, Christine's move brought the family drama straight into the public court system. That lawsuit wasn't just paperwork, it was a loud, clear signal that things were officially unraveling. What's interesting here is the timing. Christine's court battle came just as the Coyote Pass property fight was wrapping up. Was it a coincidence? Or did Christine see the writing on the wall, knowing Cody was being forced to settle debts and divide assets, and decided it was time to protect her own interests too? We'll probably never know the full story, but it's hard not to connect the dots. Her lawsuit highlighted just how fractured the family had become. While Janelle and Meri managed to handle their fights behind closed doors, Christine's public court battle showed there was no peace left with Cody. This wasn't a family working together anymore, it was an empire falling apart. One legal battle at a time. Cody, once the unchallenged head of this family and the king of their assets, now found himself cornered. The land was split, the money owed was being paid out, and the relationships fractured beyond repair. The empire he built with multiple wives and big dreams was crumbling, and Christine's child support suit was just another crack in the foundation. This moment felt like a clear sign. The Browns' story as we knew it is shifting, and the fallout is only beginning. At the end of the day, this isn't just a story about land or money, it's about courage. Janelle and Meri stood up when no one else would. They refused to be pushed aside or silenced. They fought for what was rightfully theirs, and they held Cody and Robyn accountable. That kind of strength, it's inspiring for anyone who's ever felt overlooked or powerless. This win sends a powerful message. No matter how long it takes, no matter how hard the fight, justice and fairness can prevail. For all the women watching who've been told their voice doesn't matter, this is proof it does. And as the Browns' story unfolds, who knows what's next? Is this the beginning of the end for the show, or just another twist in a saga that's far from over? Whatever happens, you can bet the drama isn't slowing down anytime soon. Thanks so much for watching and being part of this journey with me, Sarah, here on TLC Sister Wives Recap. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. And drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you make of Janelle and Meri's big win? I want to hear from you.